This is going to be an incredible opportunity for us to talk about some of the issues that are clearly very relevant right now in terms of gangs and bullyism in our community and certainly throughout the country.
Helping children make better decisions and make sure that they have lives that will allow them to reach the dream of what we all wish for our own children. And that's what Council for Unity does.
This is going to be an extraordinary experience, and I really hope that we will be able to replicate this in the future. If you want to learn about gangs, you're going to meet real ex-gang leaders who will tell you all you want to know. And if you want to learn about re-entry, you're going to learn about that too, because you can talk to ex-offenders who now are not only atoning for what they have done, but are saving more lives than they ever took.
We need more help now in our schools than ever. We need more help and less criticism. We need more elected officials that are willing to stand up and say, you know what, I really want to get to the core of the problems. The first thing to go in an economic crisis is our social programs. Then we wonder why our children are failing. And we really have an epidemic in this country that we have not addressed.
This is a partnership. This is a partnership of community, of law enforcement, of parents, of teachers. We need all of you to really tackle the problem of bullyism, tackle the problem of gangs.
Intelligence is key to disrupting the operations of gangs. With that, the FBI has started a National Gang Intelligence Center in Washington, which correlates intelligence trends from throughout the country as well as the world with regard to gang activities.
Gang members can voluntarily join the Council for Unity. We bring them together once a week, sometimes probably twice a week, and we bring them into our chapel, maybe 20 to 30 at a time, and they talk. And I think what happened is they find out that they have more in common than they do different.
We looked at this new fad coming in the 1990s and said, not a problem. It's just a fad, like boys wearing their pants halfway down their butts. It's just a fad. And what we allowed to happen was to allow a very dangerous gang culture to get a very strong foothold and to really hold hostage the next generation of this country. I am on the front lines and I see every day the best and the brightest of this generation going down the toilet.
15-year-olds going to a maximum security prison. Absurd. Frightened, traumatized. Doesn't matter what they did on the street. They are frightened and they're traumatized when they go into these massive establishments where they may or may not be seen as a punk. They're our children. They're not their children. They're not his children, not her children. They're all our children. And it's about time we claimed our children. It's about time we gave them a future. It's about time we gave them responsibility and we took responsibility for them.
One of the things that I'm convinced of from a treatment point of view is that, and Council for Unity proves this every day, both in the community, in the school, in the jail, and in my prisons, people will change. People can change if you give them a choice. And Council for Unity does that. It gives them a different mindset. Council for Unity is really probably the #1 best approach to reversing the concept of gangs by allowing people to become individuals.
About 3 years ago, I met a photographer named Howard Schatz, who's probably one of the top 5 photographers in the world. He came to the Suffolk County Jail. He said, I am going to change the perception of the public by publishing this piece, and this is the work that they are doing. They must have 300 photos of our incarcerated men and women, and you just look at their face and you will see that there is intelligence. And if you look at Ralph, who's the third panel in, just look at the sadness in that young man's eyes. He almost looks like he's a slave. No place to go.
I was pushing my 2-year-old sister on a swing, and a drive-by happened. Some Crips came through into a drive-by, and I got shot twice in my leg, and I fell, and I was screaming and crying because I thought I was dying. And the next vision I seen was I looked up and I seen my 2-year-old sister slumped over dead in the swing. So that's what I thought my get back from my sister was to join the opposing gang, the rivalry gang. So I became blood at 12 years, excuse me, at 12 years old. And I realize now, since I joined council saved my life.
1978, I started gang banging, 13 years old. There's nothing anybody can tell me concerning the streets of LA that I don't know. The only experts are the participants, plain and simple. I couldn't talk to you for 2 hours and then say, well, I'm an expert concerning her living conditions. You have to live a particular life or experience something for you to really get a true sense of understanding concerning that. I lived it, just like Jason lived it. Dino, everyone that's a part of Council for Unity, we've experienced certain things that everyone in this room is of concern with in regards to saving these kids. You put somebody like us in front of them, they can, and not only relate to what we're saying, but they can identify as to who we are and what we're representing. As much as I hate to say it, these kids look to cats like us and try to fashion themselves after us based on what they heard or what they think they know or what they see.
It's seldom I get a free lunch and listen to Joe Hines at the same time. I'm sure I'll learn a great deal from all of you. It's good to be here.
I will continue to sing your praises and to advocate for more resources in the area of education and prevention.
Successes in criminal justice are not achieved by a prosecutor's office alone. It is a partnership. And I want to just express to the council, to all of you, to UFT, we appreciate your partnership.
The people in our education system are taking on the responsibility of other people's children. That is a remarkable calling, and we are grateful for that. The better education our children get, the better jobs they're going to get, and they're going to be able to pay into the Social Security Fund, which is going to pay for our benefits. So keep up the good work.
Programs like Project Redirect, the Council for Unity, the NYPD PAL must continue to survive in a time where budget concerns have sorely limited positive programs that act as an alternative to gangs. More importantly, we must forge partnerships and work together to keep our youth out of gangs. And for those who have made the mistake of joining them, show them the way back home. Thank you very much.
When there's a vacuum in a community or in a school, gangs thrive. Because gangs provide young people with critical sources of support. If we don't understand what gangs provide, we can't figure out how to respond. The community is the problem, and the community is also the solution. That's the breeding grounds for our gangs. It's the failed schools that are nurturing them. And the only way we can counter it if we make those schools a place where kids have real opportunities to learn and to grow and to develop. So I encourage you, find ways to make sure we're building bridges to schools, to the families that are struggling to get by, and to the kids that have no families at all, who are looking for something to belong to. Thank you.